Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura Watson, and in this video I'm sharing 5 tips with you on how to improve your botanical drawing. And these are going to be great tips for you if you're a beginner, but if you're experienced, they might be new and different for you as well because I approach things differently than some people. I'm going to show you a little bit more about how I created these drawings in my nature journal. So if you're interested in checking those out, then keep on watching.
The first tip for botanical drawing is to start with basic shapes. A lot of beginners get really discouraged because they put a lot of effort into doing details before getting the basic shapes and positioning correct. You want to make as simple of a drawing as you can, and I sometimes even just call it a stick drawing and do literally only sticks, like lines and dashes, just to get the angles correct before I start drawing. And so you can see that I've just really used some ellipses, some lines, some ovals here, and now it is starting to take shape and I'm adding in the details of the buds now. But if I try to just add the details of the buds in right now first, I would probably have to erase a lot more because I'd be getting the right, curve of the edge of the petal on the bud, but it would be in the wrong spot. So this sometimes seems like an obvious tip, but for me with drawing, it was a real game changer to keep things simple. I've mentioned before in other nature journaling videos that I like to use 3 different size waterproof pens for my nature journal spreads, and I use the largest ones for the title and borders, and then a medium nib for my writing, and the finest, smallest nib for the contour drawings of my plants. Tip number 2 is to start inking your drawings at the center of the flower. I just find that this is helpful. It creates a visual anchor, and then you can continue on with adding the ink over your petals and your stems. And I find it's an easy way for me to keep track of where I am at, because sometimes there's a little bit of excess pencil from doing my loose drawings, and I like to make sure that I leave all the graphite on and then ink before erasing, and that way I get the best line possible, and I also then erase only once after the ink is dried, and I can leave the surface of my paper as much as possible because it's not ideal to erase on top of watercolor paper. I find it really fun saving the erasing for the last step before painting, and I just use a kneaded eraser, and I find if I just gently do this once at the end, then the surface of my watercolor paper is still in good condition to paint on. I have been practicing my handwriting, and it's not perfect at all, but I am a lot more confident with it since I've been adding it to my nature journal a lot in the last year or so. And so I just freehand in my handwriting without doing any pencil first. Tip number 3 is to use a compass to create a circular frame. If you want to create a circle to put your drawing in, use a compass from a geometry set and create a nice perfect circle, but just make sure that you actually tape your paper down or hold it down, because I didn't here and it was a little challenging, and my second go round I got it right. Tip number 4 is to map out the positions of your petals using simple lines first. This is really, really helpful. First, I made a little mark for the center of the flower, which is the sort of the pistil showing, and this is a front-on photo of a flower. And then I used lines to map out exactly where those petals would lay in correspondence to the center of the flower. You can see I'm just using light, loose strokes now to map in where the petals are. Tip number 5 is to pay attention to petal overlaps. This may seem trivial, but it really takes your drawing from something that is elementary to much more sophisticated. And it's harder to see on this reference photo because the flower center is so dark, but when I'm drawing here, I am actually noting which petals overlap and which petals are underneath. So you can see that the top petal is in front and the 2 petals to the side of it are tucked behind. And this is something that I always try and look at before I start drawing so that I know what order the edges are going to overlap on my petals. And you can see that I've erased some of my drawing here because I wanted to fix up the angle, but also how that overlap happens. This is really going to help your drawings look a lot more realistic. Now I'm finishing up my drawing. I did do a little bit of readjusting with the stem and leaves, deciding what details I wanted to keep and which ones I wanted to leave out. But in the end, it's come together. This drawing in particular will not look completely right or realistic until I have painted it in. Because it's front on, it needs a really dark color around the center of the flower to add the depth. So even though I ink this in, it to me will look a little flat until I've added the color, but that will be in another video. Don't forget to click the link in the description below to check out my completely free 5 steps for botanical painting guide.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And these drawings were the lead up to the final painting that I did of the black lily. And I'd love to show it to you here. This is my sort of good copy nature journal, and this is the final black lily portrait that I created after I made my nature notes. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please hit the like button and click subscribe and the bell icon to get notified for new videos. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're also going to enjoy this video on how to improve your botanical painting.